Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Say hey, Sherelle.
Hi.
Good evening, roommates. I am so excited to be here. Per usual, y'all know that's my opening situation, but come on in. Come on in. We have a treat for you tonight. You see, we got our feet kicked up. We got our socks and stuff going. We are literally out here about to have a roommate meeting. So I need for you guys to come on in the room. Happy Tuesday, roommates. Come on in. I am going to introduce our lovely guest in just a moment, but come on in. Come on in. Happy Tuesday. How you feeling, girlfriend?
Excellent. How are you?
Good. Listen, I don't have no complaints, and I'm super excited that you're here. So, listen, I am in podcast heaven right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Come on in, roommates.
Definitely exciting.
Yes, I am going to introduce our guest in just a moment. I'm really, literally just trying to get to our section where I'm able to see you guys and see your comments. So come on in as you bear with me. Hi, best friend. I see you. Hey, Instagram. Happy to have you. I don't know what's going on over here with Facebook, but I'm figuring it out. Come on in. All right. So let's get started. I'll figure out these comments in just a moment. Happy 2025.
Yes.
Happy 2025. Guys, so I decided that we would shift gears, right? And that we would switch up seasons. We in 2025, so this is a new season for all of us. Remember we talked about last week that 2024 was our year of like confronting our fears and just getting, you know, those things that terrify us out of our minds, our spirits, our hearts, and that 2025 would be our year of reaping the harvest and reaping the benefits for our hard work, and also our year of growth, right? So as we are continuing to grow together, roommates, we have officially hit season 2, and we are at episode 1. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I am going to take this time, and I hope you guys can hear me. I'm going to take this time to introduce our guest tonight, okay? She is a high school as well as a current day friend. She is a mother. She is an author. She's a producer. She is the mastermind behind the Creative Museum of Science, Arts, and Sex, whose mission is to enrich lives by fostering connection, healing, and growth through creativity and self-discovery. So roommates, I need you guys to give the biggest round of applause for our special guest, Sherelle Banks, who is the perfect co-host for our discussion tonight. So, welcome, babes. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit before we delve into tonight's conversation? Can you just give us a glimpse behind how does one come up with something as creative as the Museum of Science, Arts, and Sex?
Honestly, friend, what I would tell anybody is the big ideas only comes through healing.
Okay, I like that.
If I'm being honest.
Yes.
They only come through healing.
Mm-hmm.
When you experience certain things in life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Traumatic experiences, for an example, if you allow those experiences to do what they were intended to do,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
It forces or it influences introspection.
Yes.
Yeah, and when you go within, it kind of open the door of imagination, right?
Oh my God.
When you
I
in
love it.
solitude, you ain't got nothing, you ain't got no other choice but to be you thinking all
Yes.
the time. And God gonna meet you halfway. That's
Yeah.
what he do. So when your little mind get to going, God get to saying boom, 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 the big ideas come roaring in like
Yes.
storms. So that was pretty much my situation. Like I went through some things and I went into solitude and
Mhm.
that was the outcome. It's like, what can you give? What can you give that will help people that experienced what you did?
Mhm.
And what would your contribution be? You
Mhm.
know they have advocates for sexual abuse,
Yes. Yes.
violence
Mhm.
advocacy,
Mhm.
sex trafficking advocacy.
Yes.
A lot of people don't have that advocacy for healing,
Mm.
right?
There's always therapy.
solitude, that inner clarity
Mhm.
that you can only get from being in solitude.
It's funny that you're talking about solitude because literally a couple of weeks ago, my roommates and I, we hosted a pod, and the title was Elevation Requires Isolation.
I agree.
And the fact that you are sitting here talking about you have come up with, produced, and created this wonderful outlet, if you will, creative and artistic expression out of isolation it really just hones in for our roommates, because these are the very discussions that we have. You have to isolate, and I think it's going to lend us so much. It's going to lend your creativity, your healing journey,
Absolutely.
your experience in life. It is going to lend so greatly to tonight's discussion. And so over here, okay, at Rumor Has It, we always start off before we get into the night's discussion with a biblical reference, right? So roommates, y'all know because we got roommates. Y'all know because we got a guest, we still give our biblical references. Now don't be front, okay? Let's get it. So Psalm 27 and 10 makes it clear that the Lord will take us in. When others reject you, don't you despair. Instead, you go to the Lord in prayer and you ask him to take you in. He will do it, and his acceptance is bigger than even the worst form of worldly rejection. So go ahead, Psalm 27 and 10. Okay? Powerful, right?
Powerful. Let me just say this.
Please.
For the record,
Uh-huh.
you don't know, but 721. Those numbers are very significant to me. So as you read
2017.
this scripture, 2017, it resonates so deep with me, and that
Praise God.
also is the purpose behind my mission. Dealing with rejection. Like a lot of people on the outside look at me, they'll be like, who rejected her? Who, when, where?
Listen.
And don't know that I've struggled with that
Listen.
for a long time, right?
Rejection comes in all shape, forms, and fashion.
Absolutely.
And we can, you don't think of the word rejection when you just get turned down for a job, but the reality is that, and if you had already had rejection issues, hello,
Yes.
ding, 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 ding. Any no can feel so horrible, and it can be re-piercing of anything that has any type of glimmer of that rejection. So you speaking to us, okay?
And it's so many things that can be built on that. Like seriously, when you think about the word rejection, I'm not like the average person would think about just relationships, like romantic relationships. When you actually think about the root of rejection, it really starts in childhood. Even when you have 2-parent households, like this can get so deep.
And you know what? And this is why I always come with a topic, but it's always perfectly fine to deviate and to ensure that things that interconnect, we make it make sense. Our roommates would jump in sometimes, and I won't even have a note but it'll trigger something in me to be like, absolutely right. This is you guys are right on the money. But we're just gonna jump in really, really quickly because I'm sure there's gonna be so many other things that ignite you tonight. You ready? So roommates, our discussion tonight, if you guys will be reminded of the invitation that I sent out on yesterday, is it's time for us to gear up and embrace our let them era. Okay? So before we get to talking and breaking all of this down, what does that look like for us? And roommates, I want you guys to drop in the chat, if you will. What does your let them era look like? Drop it in the chat, and we're going to break down in many areas, and we're going to have discussions on all fronts and all avenues as we get into some of this, right? So, what does it look like being, we have a roommate that's saying rejection is the sister of depression. Hey, you ain't wrong. Happy Tuesday, Amanda. Yes. Hey, Yvette. Hey, Tamika. Thank y'all for joining us. We appreciate it. Yes, that's something. That's deep. Rejection is the sister of depression. I like that. I like that.
I like that too.
Roommates, what does it look like? What does your let them era look like? And I'm gonna go ahead and kick us off and get us started. Let them judge you. Go ahead and let them judge you. When you hear that, what does that feel like for you? Go ahead and let them judge you.
I mean, I wouldn't even, I really don't know how to explain or let them judge you when you lived in a space of not really, in my case, it's so complicated, y'all.
Okay.
First of all, when I talk about rejection, noticing the rejection is one thing, but being stuck in that and allowing that to dictate how you live and the things that you do and the decisions that you make is something completely different. Mm-hmm. So I've experienced rejection, but I never let that dictate who I was. I never let it change my smile. Yes. That's my famous line, don't let them change your smile, period. So with that being the case, you get to reinvent yourself over and over. So when you say let them
judge you.
Let them judge you.
What is your mind? When you get to a place where you're saying, you know what, go ahead and judge me.
For me, you get into a space of the ones who are judging don't even exist. So you ain't even thinking about don't let them judge you. It don't even matter.
They don't even exist. They don't matter.
Yeah. So that's my perspective.
Okay. So when I think about people judging, because judging is just really another term for people being critical or criticizing you, right? But let's be very clear, right? Criticism can be constructive, but it can also be destructive, right? And we know that. And when I hear that statement, like, you know what, go ahead and judge me because y'all gonna judge me anyway. Or one of my favorite things, y'all can judge me because they judge Jesus Christ, right? But I want to crack a joke around let them judge you, because when I think about people constantly being critical of another person, it's like all my life I had to fight.
True.
Right? It's like all my life I had to fight because it's constant ridicule and the judgment of others. It just doesn't feel good, right? I have someone saying that we need to release them, and we need to release the opinions of people who are looking to judge us, right?
Absolutely.
So that is that is a good one. Silence. I'm hearing silence. I'm also hearing completion. And Renita, hey, welcome. I don't think I've said your name. Welcome, roommate. Ever or either in a long time, but I'm appreciative that you're here. And Renita says, they don't matter.
Period.
I mean, that's kind of on period, right?
Period. I mean, and you get to that, when you get to that point, that's a dangerous level to be at, Yeah. And it's so important. And again, a lot of people say that. But they don't understand the strength behind that comes with healing. If you heal yourself and stand in that space, imagine that for real.
But you know, another phrase, and I don't want to deviate too much, another phrase we hear a lot of is, you know, I'm unbothered. But I was always taught, you know, to Dolores' point, you know, being unbothered, generally, you're able to respond to negativity and respond to criticism and respond to those people who are on this journey, right, to you and I talked about these smear campaigns, right? When people are on smear campaigns, wanting to throw dirt on your name, wanting to turn other people against you. And I think about silence, because we are what we entertain. And I've been able to keep my sanity because I shed things and people out. And I'm intentional about it. And it's not that things don't bother me or that things shouldn't bother you, especially when it's at a certain depth and it's cutting in a certain type of way and it's coming from people you least expected, right? But it doesn't feel good. But your coping mechanisms have to be that is conducive and positive to you and not destructive. Remember earlier we talked about many of us sometimes use destructive coping mechanisms to be okay, and we're not doing anything but hurting ourselves, right? So let them judge you, honey. Let them judge you.
Can I just
Please
make a reference, because I've been throwing the word healing around.
Please do.
Right?
Healing is important
for me to say this, because healing comes with a lot of work. And when I say introspect, that's not just a surface level word. That means like literally going inside. That's where you counteract those emotions of what the other people baggage, basically, right?
Listen, processing everything.
You get to process, you get to compartmentalize, you get to separate and dissect and do inventory, right? You get to take accountability for yourself in certain areas and in situations, and you get to take account in all aspects, and that's where the real healing comes from. Like, so when you hear me say healing, take accountability, basically. Take accountability for yourself.
Sherelle just said two keywords that resonate with me so well, because on my healing journey, I've had to do quite a few things. Compartmentalize is one of those things. So, not to get too technical, but to give it in layman's terms, think about your glove compartment, right? It's right here in the middle, and it has a small place for the change and a big place for all your mail and stuff that should be somewhere else, right? And you take and you put things in places that you want them to be. Think about while we're on this growth journey, right? We was doing a lot of healing in 2024. 2025 we're growing, but even with growing, you gotta be healing, right? And changing. Because even last week I told you guys, if we ain't changing, we ain't growing. And if we ain't growing, we ain't changing, right? But to compartmentalize, look a little, let me bring it to life. Looks a little bit like you. Looks a little bit like this. If she just made me mad and I enter a room with one of my other roommates, I have to find a space to put that nugget up on the shelf. Though it happens, it's still live, active, and well. But now I have to create a new space so that I don't bleed on the person that did not cut me. Right? Does that sound? And when we are compartmentalizing, we are keeping in mind that there are things that we can reference that is right here in the now, and that we have to interact with, like our children, but we just got through arguing with our mother, right? So you can't take it out on the kids. So we have to find a way to take all these feelings and put them in and appropriate them into the right spaces so that we are not bleeding on people who didn't cut us. Okay, we got so much more stuff to tap into. Listen. That's just section number one. Okay, so listen, guys. We're going to let them judge us. We're going to let them be critical of us. We are going to respond to that by not responding. We can also not care. We often hear people say, I'm so unbothered, but those are generally the people that's the most bothered.
Yes.
We're not doing trendy. We're doing real hard work. We're doing real spiritual work. We're doing 2025 and
real
beyond.
Work.
Real work.
Not the surface level.
Not nothing
not to
surface.
Put on the happy face
no
and I'm on social media with this. Oh, I'm happy and my life is perfect. But I'm gonna go behind this person's back and try to get them to lose their job.
Yes.
You're not healed. You need help.
Yes.
And it really starts inside. You got it. Whatever you need, you have it. It's important for me to say.
I love it. Please say whatever it is you want to say. By letting them judge you, you are allowing them to do what they want to do. And in Dolores Bailey's voice, it brings separation and humility. You are able to separate yourself from the attacks, but you also are humbled enough to understand and recognize when it just doesn't sit well with you. It's not gonna always sit well with you, because I am the spokesperson for the only person that can hurt me is somebody that I care about. A stranger has never hurt me. The only way a stranger can hurt you is if they physically do something to hurt you. But when we talk about your spirits, your energy, and getting you off kilter, it generally involves someone that you have some sort of love, trust, and respect for. So, for the people that I love, trust, and respect, it's just certain things I wouldn't even fathom in my mind, let alone move forward with in action. Okay, you know what else we gonna let them do in this era? You know what else we're going to let them do, Sherelle?
What we going to do, friend? What we going to let them do, friend?
We're going to let them misunderstand us.
Yes, that's so big.
Baby, being misunderstood used to drive me crazy.
That's the most mentally challenging and taxing experience anybody can have.
Because you're trying to
when I tell you to live in entrapment, mental entrapment.
It's a smart lady. Come on with the entrapment.
Fear of judgment, not being understood. That's the whole part of rejection. Imagine somebody with an energy just so big, and I ain't the only one, but you got to suck yourself in, because everybody continuously misunderstand you. So it's like I got to figure out a way to get on these people levels so I won't be so misunderstood.
To be misunderstood, guys, it provokes feelings of defeat, and there go that R word again, rejection. Let me tell you guys, and for my roommates that's been with me, been rocking and rolling with me, some of this stuff you guys have heard me say, and you'll hear me say it again and again, whenever it relates. When the feelings of defeat for me in this area of being misunderstood is, I was always pegged for, she thinks she better than folk. And what I had to come to terms with was a couple of things. Because anybody that truly knows me, she's been knowing me since freshman year of high school. Anybody that truly knows me knows that I'm a jokester, though people may not even know that. I'm goofy as ever. I am giving, I'm kind, all of these things that she would have said probably without me saying it, right? People that know me know that. I don't judge people. I do anything to help people. But a lot of my life I've gotten from people who don't really know me, or people who have tried to put me in that zone of defeat because they have this inferiority complex that I think I'm better. See, that's a whole nother show for a whole nother time. We're talking about superiority and inferiority complexes, because people put themselves in those boxes where they be like, you think you're better than people. But I used to feel so defeated when people used to say that to me. I used to try to prove that I wasn't better, but I used to say, like, what am I doing that I think I'm better? And somebody told me before, they said, let me tell you something. It's not that you think they're better. They know that you are of a certain level based on the way you treat people, based on the way you move, based on the way you keep your mouth closed, based on the way you set goals and attain them. Go ahead, baby.
It's burning me to say this.
Say it.
Imagine. Because you ain't see y'all, boy, listen. The thing is, imagine you not ever questioning, because optimism is my middle name.
All right now.
Okay. Nobody never been able to make me question who I am. Imagine me spending all of that time trying to show people how great they are.
Yeah.
It's the complete opposite from you.
Yeah,
you spend time trying to show people how great you are. Imagine a person spending time trying to show other people how much taxing that is on your energy, and people don't understand how do a person get to 47 and then come up with this idea to create a museum.
Hey,
it took years to get to this point of being able to separate myself and carrying other people's luggage.
That's it.
Carrying their bags, and once you separate yourself and you able to think clearly, you come up with these genius ideas, right?
But friend, guess what? You speaking. But guess what? Guess what is the opposition of those feelings of defeat and those feelings of rejection when it comes to being misunderstood? It is your own self-acceptance, and it's precisely what you're speaking to. When you can get into a space, so while we're letting them misunderstand us, we are getting an understanding for ourselves on who we are, whose we are, how we can be effective and effective in this world that we live in. And despite all of the critical and the outside and external noises, we are finding ways in response to being misunderstood, roommates. Let's keep our context in mind. We are finding ways to increase our own self-acceptance, because when we are not seeking external validation in 2025. Y'all heard me say that before. If they want to misunderstand you, and I know it's so easy to say, you guys have said it 10 times already, we done said it 5 times already. It's so quick to say, it don't matter, go ahead, it doesn't matter. But in some instances, it does, and that's why we're talking about this. Because not everything that comes to your face is going to roll off your back. Not everything. Because if it's your son that has you in a place of feeling misunderstood, if it's your daughter, if it's your brother, if it's your sister, it's not always so easily. Now, we 47, friend, and you just told these people our age, we're knocking on 50.
True.
But at the same time, roommates, I spent all of my life, probably until 40, trying not to be misunderstood. Trying not to be, now don't get me wrong, I ain't lose myself in it. But I wanted to make those people feel less uncomfortable in my presence. It didn't work. So I said, I had to say forget it. Because I did all that I can for them. Yeah. Now you just need the Lord. Because I didn't do anything to you to make you feel that way. Exactly. And then I tried to make you unfeel it, and I can't help you there either. So let me tell y'all something. Some people want to misunderstand you. Some people don't ever want to get you. And that's all right.
So my goal, let me say this, because the goal is, and what she's speaking to, is the fact that we all need to heal.
Period.
Any situation that's founded on ungodly soil,
period,
it won't stand. I don't care how many, like, prime example with you saying 2025 is the year of what?
It's our year of growth. And it's also our year reaping the return on our investment, which is ourselves.
So this is where the Museum of Science, Art, and Sex come in.
Come on now, Science, Art, and Sex.
We don't want to keep masking the wounds.
No.
We don't want to keep putting the Band-Aids. So what we experiencing, and this is through my own life experience, is so many people healing now. It's so many spiritual people now. It's so many Bible carriers and scripture quoters and all of these things. And it's like and this is where we get to use discernment too, right? Because we got to protect ourselves, because we are teachers. We're here to teach people. But at the end of the day, it's like, and this is my conscience.
Yes.
And it took me a long time to get here. It took a lot of sacrifice for me to get here. A lot of me sacrificing myself to get here. How do you differentiate between the ones who's actually looking to heal, looking to grow, looking to be accountable, looking to be disciplined, or the ones who can take this valuable information and use it in such a way that would be beneficial to their growth, but
also beneficial to you trying to be a solution to their problem that they have with you, but you don't even understand why.
No.
Okay.
So this is
my bad went somewhere else.
So I'm trying to say without saying, because I do not like to use titles, but in my life experiences, I've learned that when you try to help people, oftentimes when you coming from a pure, genuine space, when people not ready to grow, when people not ready to heal, that good, honest, pure information that you are giving to this person, they're not hearing that as an opportunity to grow. They're hearing that as an opportunity to use this information to take to somebody else and manipulate.
And use it against you. And
so not just against you. They are empowered. You empowering them now. You giving them ammunition to use.
So you've empowered them.
They're gonna pretend they're gonna take your words.
Yes. And
they're gonna go and they siphoning your energy. And then they're going to go somewhere else and pretend to be healed. Because now I know the words to say. It sounds good because I heard Tamika say it. It made sense when she said it.
Siphoning your energy.
Siphoning your energy. How do you...
You know what?
Discern the two.
Discern the two. So what you do in a situation that I'm hearing you say, what you do is that you yourself should feel empowered to be that light and that direction for someone who was once in a place that in any sense of the word feels empowered to even act like. Because I sound like I hear you saying they're acting like they heal, and that they're going to try to use the resources that you provided to them against you, right?
No, so, not even against you, because they probably won't use it against you at all. In my case, it was.
They're going to be pretentious,
but they going somewhere else and pretending to be this person that they're not, because they're able to use that energy and pretend. Because now I'm manipulating the energy. I can go somewhere and talk like you. The words that you just spoke, I'm listening to every word. I'm hanging on to every word. I remember just how you pronounced it, and I'm about to go down the street and take it to Tasha, and I'm going to speak to her. And if you and Tasha was standing in the room and I was talking, Tasha would say, who in the hell is the real Tamika? Would the real Tamika please stand up?
But you know what? If you are dealing with other people who have the capacity, the gift, and the skill of discernment, they're going to know it's a bunch of bullcrap, because I can use every word that you just used in the perfect context.
But as a teacher, it's no way you can tell. It's no way you can separate it. So the question's still going to linger, because I can't even listen. If you doing what you called to do, which is to teach. If a person come to you in need, even in discernment, you will say, this person is full of bullshit.
I got somebody here saying that they joy jackers and spirit snatchers. But you know what? I just seen
joy jackers.
I love that.
Spirit snatchers.
But you know what? I just seen a comment up here and it disappeared. And I'm sorry, guys. Y'all see me and my sister girl is over here rocking and rolling. But let me tell you something. I just seen you know what y'all be getting me when I be trying to get back to them comments. First of all, roommates, they saying preach. They putting up the signs. They're saying everyone is not deserving of you or your energy. You had better speak. And I brought my sister Sherelle here for a reason, because she and I have long conversations, and you see how we sit here going back and forth, and we're communicating to understand each other. There are things that I had an interpretation, and she's like, no, that's not it. And then eventually we got to it, which the fact that people you're pretentious. And one thing about a pretender, baby, you're pretending.
Yes.
In some shape, form, or fashion, at some juncture, you are going to lose, in your words, your mask.
But this...
No, friend, we can't get stuck here, Cause
we ain't gonna get stuck.
But
here.
I
What
promise
I want
you,
to say, and it's imperative, and I'm gonna make this quick because I know
no,
this show.
No. It's not about my show, but I'm telling you.
You know what I mean. At the end of the day, we can discern that even if you go and take this energy somewhere else. Mm-hmm. But if and a person who's unhealed, we talking about the mass majority of unhealed people.
Unhealed.
It's so many people that are lost that think they're found. But if I come to you and I'm giving you this, and that's how you get these flying monkeys, and now you got all these people going against you that don't know you, don't know nothing about you, just because this person said that, this person was upset, this person was in their feelings. So even if a person is still in your word, holding on and lingering to your every word, if I'm taking this energy back to low vibrational people, no matter what it is, they holding on to it all.
Low vibrational. That is also. I feel like that is kind of like a 2020s and beyond trendy kind of catchment phrase, but it's real. Yeah. People with low vibrations and people with high vibrations, like it is literally a real thing. Hold on, y'all. We got a low power. Hey, y'all. I'm not sure if that was Instagram or Facebook, but I'm here, y'all. But you are making some fantastic points.
Are we able? Quick question. I'm sorry, y'all, and I'm so unprofessional, but are we able to stream this from the Museum of Science, Art, and Sex as well while we on this Instagram thing?
You will have to do it from your phone. You will have to do it from your phone, but
next time.
But no. But we can. But you can. I'll send you the video, and then you can upload it. Okay. You can upload it to your page because I do that. Yeah, I do that. I do that from other places as well. Okay, guys. So these conversations are good.
They get deep.
They get so deep. Yeah. I'm happy you listening to tonight. Listen, y'all. They say we better say it. Anthony, you had said something in regards to, and we're going to move on from letting them misunderstand us, but he said something where when you carry yourself in a certain manner, right, you're consistent in who you are. You're consistent with the way that you uplift people. You're consistent with the way that you carry and honor yourself and the people around you. And when people lack the capacity to do that exact thing, that's when they want to be in that realm of misunderstanding you, not because you've done anything wrong, but for the simple fact that you're doing something that, quite frankly, they aspire to do, but they don't know where to begin, because many people get stuck in toxicity. Many people get stuck in places of hurt and unhealed places. So we you know what else we're gonna let them do for him?
But before we get there, can I just say this one more thing?
Please.
Listen, everything she just said is so necessary, and I got the formula to help you get through it. That's all I want to say. It's not really hard. You just need somebody that's trusted, that been through it, that's open-minded, that speak the language. I'm telling you, non-judgmental.
All of that, and that's the space. And to be honest with you, that's the space that Roma
Stop
has.
hiding. Stop hiding.
That is the space that Roma has it creates, right? And that's why we are in such a space of like, we call each other roommates, and God brought this idea to me, and we are in a setting that it feels like we're sitting in each other's front rooms, and we sit up and we share with one another. That's why I make it my business. Oh, they're saying they cannot hear. See, this is the problem. And I think that's Facebook. Hold on, Instagram. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Can you guys hear me now? The devil is a liar. That's making me think about that song. The devil is a liar. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Phoenix, can you come help? Hey, can you guys hear? The sound is off. That's because it went to 20% like I thought it would. Can you guys hear? It says no sound. That sucks. That sucks.
So once once you start the video back, the sound still won't come on?
I don't know. Sorry, Instagram. We tried to get it together. We done lost sound.
Technical difficulties. Give us a couple seconds. Figure this thing out.
Still no sound. I don't think this ever happened. Phoenix, maybe you can stop it and start it back.
I just muted it and unmuted it.
Can you guys hear? No sound yet, but we're patiently waiting. Oh, this sucks. Probably gonna have to start it back. Start it over.
Yes, Facebook.
Yeah,
So
it's
one is
Facebook.
Facebook and one is Instagram.
Yeah. Dolores is on that. Dolores is over there commanding the devil to the pits of hell. She say the devil is a liar, honey.
Ain't that the truth?
You know what?
Okay,
listen, guys. I would challenge you all, because I'm just going to have to stop it and keep going, guys. I would challenge all of you guys right now who is on Facebook.
They can't hear you, though.
Maybe you can write a sign that say, go over to Instagram. Seriously.
She said when I moved my laptop, it went off. Oh, what is it saying? This is horrible. Sorry. Phoenix, did this, could you see if something going on here? Instagram, thank you for your patience as we try to get through these technical difficulties. Can all of my Facebook people go over to, can you hear Phoenix? Can all of my Facebook people go over to Rumor Has It? I think I got some people liking something.
Yes,
let's see. Can you guys hear me? Let's see. Instagram.
You mean Facebook?
Huh?
I said you mean Facebook.
I don't know, guys. Let me go to Instagram. So it looks like we got more people over here on Instagram. Hey y'all, Instagram, you guys have been so patient. I appreciate you guys. I don't know, roommates, can you guys hear me on Facebook? Give me one last time, yes or no. If you can hear me, if not, that's fine. So they want the link to Instagram. Let me find. Hey, brother. Okay, you can hear me. I'm glad you can. You guys are asking me to do so much. We're talking about pinning. I don't know how to. I probably shouldn't say this out loud. Let me go to my page. Let me close out of here. And let me get my how do you? Oh, this sucks, guys. I do not like anything about this. Sorry. So share to copy link. All right, Facebook. I just copied the link, and then. Okay, guys. I just put the link to Instagram on Facebook. So we're gonna keep going. I hope y'all come over to Instagram. The link is there. And so now I have to just go And let's go ahead. Let's keep going. So I don't know. So we already, guys, and we done lost about 5 minutes doing this, but that is okay. We're gonna get back into the groove. So we're gonna let them misunderstand us. We already said that, and now we're moving on. You know what else we're gonna do? We're gonna let them find better.
Yes.
We're gonna let them go ahead and find better.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, because you know, it's and finding better. Let's be very clear. When I think about finding better, it's not when we have these conversations, roommates. It's rarely and barely ever just about a romantic relationship. It can apply to anything in your life. Find a better job, or find a better employee to work on their job. Find a better you. Find, you know, but finding a better you is a positive thing.
Man.
But when people think that they are replacing you, this is the context of this. When people feel like they are replacing you, then people are they're gonna find means to try to demean you, right? Minimize you. See, you done been here, so you can go on. But see, in that space, in our let them era roommates, we're letting them find better. And what does that look like? I'm glad you asked. Instead of getting upset at other people's actions and or trying to control their behaviors, right? We have to let them be exactly who they are going to be and let them do exactly what they think they want to do. Have you ever had somebody to try to spin the block? There go another one of them good. Trendy statements.
Yeah.
Right? Have you ever had somebody that want to spin the block? And again, roommates, I do not want us to get caught up on romanticism. That's fine. Intimacy, that's fine. But I'm talking about, I've had people to come back and say, listen, you was the best person that ever worked for me after they treated me dirty and wanted me back on their team. Right? But when we are in that let them find better phase and space, we are reassuring ourselves that we are worthy of anything that they think or believe is going to be best and better on that other side of the grass. What they say, that the grass ain't always green on the other side.
Right.
I personally never really stick around or beat myself over the head too much to try to figure out about nobody else's grass. I'm too busy watering my own. I don't know. Go ahead.
Well, listen, I can't speak for all, but I can speak for myself.
Mm-hmm.
It was a time where I was worried about who grass was greener. Okay. And what's crazy is this happened later on in life, because I was never the one to care about who's grass.
Earlier on.
When I tell you some of these crazy stories, you're going to be like, friend, you did that for real, friend. Yes, I did.
Can't wait to hear. I've already heard some, but anyway.
Y'all, I got some stories. It's funny, but it's healing. I promise you. Like, it's intended for you to grow, but they real life stories, and I'm here to tell you. Maybe I can save somebody so they don't have to go through it. Like, and I know for certain some of the stuff that I will eventually talk about and tell people that I've done personally. As a woman, they gonna believe it's if they gonna be honest with themselves, they gonna come on out the shell and say, me too. It's gonna be a whole new Me Too movement. Me too. Me too. I'm so girl. And it's embarrassing, but it gotta be talked about. Can I just give a lesson?
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. I thought I was so in love with somebody.
Got it.
That when and we wasn't even we were separate. We were separated, but we were still having intimate relations.
Yes.
I used to and y'all, when I'm telling you this, it's embarrassing, but eventually it's coming out because I'm talking about it, right?
Let them find better,
I'm talking
right?
about it, let them find better and let them find out. But I used to check this person's social media, and I used to be in such a state of anxiety, praying that this woman didn't post a picture or content about her and this man. That's how it get deep.
That's the era that we're living in, and this is you being transparent.
Yes.
Because transparency is key.
And vulnerable.
It's key because remember we just spoke about a moment ago the fact that everybody is so unbothered, but there's so many women, some that's probably listening.
All the ones that's unbothered are the bothered ones, for real. Because I ain't never lied about being bothered. At one point I was bothered. I was very bothered. Okay.
Yes.
I was big bothered. Like, what in the world is going on?
Big bothered.
Yeah. But yeah, it's life, and it's a real thing. If a lot more people be honest and true about their emotions, I had a woman who told somebody that I was stalking her, and I'm going somewhere else, but this got to be said, right?
Yeah.
She told somebody because I found out the whole time her sister had been on my Instagram for years, and I didn't even know that these people were sisters.
Oh my God.
And when I found out that we was dealing with the same guy, and I can recount things on her page, and it's like, this so-and-so stalking me, and it's like, you want me to believe that you wasn't going through your sister page this whole 2 years, checking on me and my information the whole time?
And social media has given us a new avenue to be able to do that type of stuff, to cry, to peer. And that's why it is extremely important to have still, even in and through social media, it is so extremely important to still have some sense of privacy. Because I'm going to tell you just like this. Whether it's Rumor Has It, whether it's Tamika Watson, whether it's Styled by Mickey, whatever my social media platforms are, you will never ever have a real sense of who I am. Now, through social media and through Rumor Has It as a podcast and as a platform, we are able, I will be transparent, I do get vulnerable, and I do share wherever my testimony can be of value to someone that's going through. Like, for instance, when we did for October, National Domestic Violence Awareness Month. I mean, I am a triple survivor. I am. And I shared some of those things, but people didn't know that. But again, my day-to-day, it's not. So we have to be very, very careful. The other thing I want to do with staying on course, with letting them find better, is, and come on guys, I see your comments. We're on Instagram now. I'm actually going to end the Facebook Live because it Phoenix, can we end that because it's not working. So guys, with us letting them find better, we are not getting upset with people's actions. Yes. We are letting people go, and we're letting them walk out of our lives without putting up a fight.
Yes.
We are learning to know our worth in this process, because it doesn't feel good when you are in that space of letting people find better. Again, it's not just an intimate partner. It can be anyone. It can be any circumstance. It can be any situation. But while we're letting people find better, we all just kind of spoke about the grass not being greener on the other side, right? We just spoke about that. I'm seeing even now, thank you guys so much for transitioning and working with us. And this will be the video that I have to save and put it on the other platforms, because the other one ain't no good and you can't even hear us. But some of you guys are still saying the same thing, which is the grass ain't greener and stuff like that. But let me tell you, when we say statements like the grass ain't greener on the other side, we are comparing. We are comparing ourselves to what is or what could potentially be. And let me tell you something about comparison. Comparison can lead to competing, but the most important thing is that comparison is the thief of joy.
Yeah.
If I am sitting here trying to compare numbers, trying to compare body sizes or body shapes or compare your life to my life, we gonna always, roommates, we gonna always be able to look at someone else or somebody else's circumstance or somebody else's situation, and I'm gonna tell you what has suited me best in all of my years. To admire and to work towards. I'm gonna tell you my answer and my response to seeing something that I perceive as better. I admire it. I might add it to my vision board. I set a goal around it, and then I go after it and I get it. Because I'm a goal getter.
Absolutely.
Okay? When I say I'm going to do something, I do it.
Absolutely.
Period. I don't care what it is. So, like, man, roommates, let them do better. Whatever that means. But I'm going to tell you, you don't compare yourself to what's going on out your back door, your front door, or your attic window. Know this. If you don't have it today, you can get it tomorrow. Your circumstance today could be yours, but tomorrow it can be mine. Do not. Go ahead.
And let me say this, because this is so important to say, because oftentimes a person in their mind will think that they don't identify with what she's saying, right? Because you will say, I don't compare myself to nobody. Because I'm one of them ones, like I literally never compared myself to nobody. But mentally, the mental challenge was let me see if this person lying to me.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta see if I'm gonna catch him up in this lie.
Yes.
And it's not about comparison, and sometimes we'll get trapped in that space. That's so unhealthy. Like it's really the same
Very
type
unhealthy.
of entrapment, right?
Very much so. Very much so.
Whether it's comparing yourself or in that mental entrapment of trying to get evidence, trying to find information, whether a person would consider it to not be a comparison. Don't limit yourself to that, right? So if you can't identify with her saying not comparing, because I'm listening to what she's saying, and my first mind saying, well, I don't identify with that because I wasn't never comparing myself to nobody. But then when you think beyond that aspect and say, girl, your ass was up on Facebook at night when he told you he was finna go out with so-and-so, and you trying to see if this person finna know something and let you know something else, you know. So it's those aspects that you have to take in regard as well, because you got to heal from that too.
Don't be your own double-edged sword, right?
Yes.
Just be very clear about what your expectations are in your situations and work towards and aspire towards attaining those things you want. The last thing with allowing them to find better or letting them find better on your watch and on your court is if and when they want to choose anything or anyone above you. With all your might, let them. What you have to do, and what I'm going to say, roommates, next is going to be probably the most important thing that you guys can hear from me tonight. I know we done said a bunch of stuff, but I'm going to tell you like this. I done been through what y'all have been through, and in some instances way worse. But I'm gonna tell you like this: I bite pillows, I scream, I pray, I cry, I holler, I talk to my best friend in the whole wide world, and that's as far as it's going. Okay? Find a way to find peace in your situation, no matter how grim it is, no matter how bad it is, no matter how much it hurts. In this year of 2025, as we are growing and finding ways to reap the benefits of our labor labor and all of that good stuff that we are putting forth, we gonna allow people to leave that want to leave, right? We are going to allow them to find better. Let's move on, roommates. We going a little bit long, but I promise you we almost done. You know what else we gonna let them do, friend?
What we gonna let them do?
We gonna let them gossip about us.
Yes.
Girl.
Why they gossiping?
Girl. Now I'm
See,
just
so
saying.
this, let me say, before we get started on the gossiping, right? Because I'm noticing the pattern between you and I. So it's like you got the bullet points, right? It's like, friend, let's talk about the gossiping. And you say, gossiping. Why do people gossip? You know,
that's
these
a question.
are ways that we can combat gossiping. Blah blah blah. And then me, on the other hand, is here to say, because I have people gossiping about me. You know,
yin and yang tonight.
You know, I have people gossip about me that I ain't not even seen in person. And I'm like, well, what is going on?
My
so
child.
that's just tell the whole story on a level.
Let them go.
Man, when I'm telling you that gossiping, you get it up out you.
Miss Tasha to the dad say, we ain't cleaning up nothing.
We ain't cleaning up nothing.
We ain't cleaning up nothing.
I'm telling you.
Have your
way with it.
This is back to what one of our roommates put on Facebook a little while ago. Not sure if she transitioned over here. Listen, remain silent, as the police say. Plead the fifth, my dear.
Yes.
Plead the fifth.
Yes.
You know what? Because I'm gonna tell you one thing. Me and my best friend do, and we do it so very well. We drink our water and we mind our business. Now we do gossip, but we do the good Judy gossiping, you know, and we don't talk about people's downfalls and pitfalls because every one of us have been there. But we will have us a kiki. But what we ain't gonna do is we not gonna gloat in nobody's pain.
Exactly. And what I've learned is it don't even just be the pain. These people so thirsty.
Anything. They're creating.
People making up stuff. I didn't hear so many lies.
They create narratives.
And I'm like, where in the world did these people get this information?
Where it come from?
Do I know you? Have I seen you? But they can tell you about a person in their whole life, and it's like, how did we come to this?
Where did this come from?
No, not even where did it come from. How
did you derive to this conclusion?
Not even how do a person, because I'm gonna take it global. How does society get to this point? How do we get to the point of making up a whole false narrative about a person based on the opinion of somebody else?
Based on the opinion of somebody else.
If a person come and say, I had an issue with Tamika, that's like a person coming to me say, man, Tamika got into it last night. She did woo out the bam bam to me. She said this, she said that. And then the person on the outside, that B ain't nothing. She ain't no good. That low down dirty dog.
But you know what? Those are the people.
And you ain't done nothing to me.
You ain't done nothing to them.
The person don't even know you.
They don't know you, but those are the people that want to have animosity against you. Listen.
And this is where I come in, the Museum of Science, Art, and Sex. We teach people to heal.
Period.
We teach you
but
to
you
heal.
But you can't teach a person to heal, friend, if they are not on a journey of healing. Let's be very clear. I come from some toxic spaces, places, and environments.
Everybody healing. I'm talking about they taking, they eating the sea moss, the what is all of this other stuff they doing? They fasting, they preaching,
Friend, honey, we gonna let them gossip about them. What we ain't gonna do is that we ain't gonna worry. We ain't telling our side of the story.
No,
we ain't telling our side of the story. We let
or
folks,
our secrets for real.
We not doing none of that. They say you gotta be okay with being misunderstood.
Yes.
You have your. They say we have their undivided attention. Thank y'all. We appreciate y'all. Listen, let me tell y'all this. We are the silence. We're back to the silence. It's the ultimate killer. Let them say what they gonna say. Let them do what they gonna do. Let them be who they gonna be. And you just sit back on your side. It's you, them, and God. And when God has the final say so, for He is the person that sets forth the vengeance. I don't care how much a person has gossiped about you, how much a person has hurt you, how much a person has betrayed you, you have to stand in the presence of the Lord and understand that you are not alone, and that when you look in the mirror and that other person look in the mirror at the same situation, I can promise you, y'all probably would intertwine at the same intersection, because everybody knows the truth, but everybody don't speak the truth about it. Let them gossip while you hustle.
Period. Because that's what I do. When I tell y'all, let me tell you a story. And this is the honest to God truth. When I say that listen, I'm 47 and I take delight in saying that I am 47 years old. Okay, do I need to stand up? Don't make me stand up.
Don't make her.
Nonetheless, when I say what I've just experienced in my older life, I've never experienced in my entire life.
Wow.
When I say a mean girl, I never even heard of that. But I also, at the same time that I heard the Mean Girls crew, I heard of the Gross Sisters. So I chose to hang on to that because that was more befitting. Like, y'all a bunch of gross ass women, right? So at the end of the day, like, I've never experienced so much gossip. When I say wrapped around one man. One man got like 4 different families gossiping about me, talking about me like a dog. People that I've never even met, never even seen me in person.
Yes.
Smear campaigns. I'm talking about things about myself that I've never heard about. Things that How do you even come up with these stories is what one would want to ask a person, right?
But that's what gossip does. Gossip, for me in my mind, and I hear you, friend. For me in my mind, gossip is so closely equated with garbage.
Yes.
That I am choosing to stay and stray far away from it, because let me tell you what gossip does. At the end of the day, the same people you're talking about, those smear campaigns and all of that, gossip, my dears, are the opinions of others, and they are not our problems. However a person perceives you is their problem, because if you have not given them evidence-based proof that you are a mean girl, a nasty girl, a this girl, that if they don't know you personally and true and through, there's no way that a person can speak on you. I'm gonna tell you like this: I don't speak on people. If you know me and you have ever brought to me anything to the point that Sherelle was making a little while ago, if someone come to her and say, Tamika this, Tamika that, I'm gonna tell a person one of 2 things. If that is not my situation with Tamika or Sherelle or whatever, I'm gonna tell you one or 2 things. Oh, I don't really know her like that, so I can't speak to that. Or I'm gonna piss the gossiper off, and I'm gonna say this. And some of y'all who will hear this back that won't watch the live but will watch the show, I love y'all. Some of you have heard me say this. That hasn't been my experience with Sherelle.
Right.
That's maturity. That's slicing gossip in half and telling the person, I ain't here for it.
Exactly.
I'm trying to become a billionaire. Yes, I said with a B like boy.
Yes.
My mindset doesn't resonate at gossip.
And let me say this, friend. It's important for me to finish this off because I was going somewhere with the point of me making about the people gossiping about me. Mm-hmm. When I say I experienced a level of slander that I have never experienced, I'm talking about job loss, contract loss, people refusing to work with me because they heard it through the grapevine, and none of this stuff is true. And while all of this is going on, I'm talking about court situations, falsified document, all kinds of slander in every way you can imagine. Yeah. Every way you can imagine. I still had to maintain my silence.
That's it.
I could not speak.
That's it.
And I had so much to say. And I'm talking about the information was so close to me. So it's not like I'm not hearing the gossip. It's so close to me. It's there. I'm hearing it. So while I'm going through my healing journey, on top of the fact that I ain't never done nothing to nobody, and I'm going to keep my hand on the stack of Bibles, anybody know me, and just like you said, I don't care who it is, anybody in this lifetime that grew up with me, gonna tell you, Sherelle always been a cool person, laid back, a little bit on the serious side.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I am funny when I'm comfortable and I want to be around people. I am sarcastic. I will bite your head off. I would tear a hole in your ass when it comes to words. Don't play with me. But at the end of the day, my heart always been pure. Nobody ever questioned how I loved, who I loved, and if I was genuine, right? I'm a 19-year-old taking everybody kids for the weekend with no kids. And we ain't just in my house playing Ken and Barbie. I'm taking them places. We playing school. We reading books. We doing math. We doing all that. I'm being a teacher, what I was called to do.
Yeah.
Right? At that very young age. So when you say that comes with a level of responsibility. And I know to that they say, well, what does this have a reference to do with gossiping? It got a lot to do with it because it shows you how mature I was at a very young age.
Yeah.
You never hear my name associated with no he said, she said. Never. In all honesty, only time you ever, if I'm being honest, I heard some he said, she said with my name included is in my real family, my blood family. Outside my family, they would never. And then these be my cousins, and they only be scared because they don't want to speak up for themselves, and they know a person ain't going to play with me. So they'll use my name because they know that if a person step to me, they ain't going to step to me. When they come to stepping to me, they ain't going to step to me. So they going to say Sherelle name because I know this person ain't finna, she ain't finna say shit to Sherelle.
It's we just talked about not being our own double-edged sword. But the other thing is that we have to recognize the external influences and the external distractions when we need to.
Absolutely.
We're moving on to our closing segment, which is what I call it.
Damn, we got to the closing segment.
Oh, we 15 minutes over, friend.
Damn.
Yeah.
Y'all, this is my first podcast, so I will be back.
We over.
I got so much to say, friend.
Friend, I promise you, it's so much to explore. When I first entered into this podcast world, it God put it on me. I didn't know what I was going to do with it. I sometimes wanted to kick and scream about being called to do this, and every time I felt like I wanted to hang it up on a shelf, I got my roommates calling me and telling me, hey, we like what's happening. I love tonight's message, blah, 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 blah. So it's about compartmentalizing.
Absolutely.
And we can't tell the story all at once because it's too much to tell. You got 47 years to unpack. And I got that with you. So let's move on to our closing segment. In our closing segment, guys, we are simply going to allow people to lose us. It's okay. Allow them to, and I know we talked about, allow them to misunderstand you. Allow them to choose better, right? Allow them to do all these things. Now we're going to allow them to move on about our lives. What does that look like? What does that look like? We have to allow people who don't want us around for whatever reason. Allow them, to your point a moment ago, to go with the crowd that they're choosing to go with to create these narratives and to spread these smear campaigns. You cannot be roommates, Sherelle. You cannot be in all places at one time. And what that means is that there's no way that you can be able to try to protect your name, protect your brand, protect what you're building while you got people building these smear campaigns. But let me tell you something, roommates, and I can stand in this because it is my life. Your smear campaign will never add up to the integrity of the years and the behaviors that I've displayed to this world. Whatever it is that you have to say that would try to deviate from who I am and the influence that I have and the what I pour into my community, into the people that I love and even people that I don't know, your smear campaign will never stand up to it. You got to allow people to lose themselves in you, because we are not roommates. We are not losing ourselves as people are trying to go away. We are finding out what it is to help to keep them away. Respectively or disrespectfully. It doesn't matter. One way or another. Just get on away from me. Okay?
Period.
We are allowing them to believe what they want to believe. We are allowing them to think that they have better and know better.
And then, can I just say this
Please.
one important thing? Because oftentimes we get caught up in the whole letting people, lose you. A lot of people look over the fact that a lot of people get caught up in that loss. You have to also be okay with the fact that if a person don't consider you as a loss, you got to be okay with that. You got to be like, whatever, at this point. That's a dangerous level to be. It's a whatever. Either it is what it is and it is what it ain't, right?
It is what it is.
A lot of people will get caught up in that, and then you get that's the pick me's, the trend that they like to say. You get the why? What about me? What is it about me? Why didn't this person choose me? Why didn't this person blah blah blah? Sometimes you just got to be okay with that loss. If the person don't consider you a loss, like it's okay.
We talked about roommates. A couple of things, and was simply letting people be and letting them be who they're going to be. It's a couple of things that we have to keep in mind and know the difference between being an asset and a liability.
Yeah.
When you are an asset, you could never be a burden on anyone. You could never be this bad person that people are wanting to paint you out to be. You are a conduit, honey. You are electricity in the room.
Yes.
Remember last week we talked about being the thermostat. You have the propensity, honey, to change the temperature of a room.
Absolutely.
Okay, it can be somber, but when you walk up in there, baby, even if they mad and angry, they're gonna find a way to try to brush it off, even if it's not genuine. Allow them to lose you. I'm gonna close us out with this, roommates. In allowing and letting and being in our let them era, we're letting them do all of these things that we said, and I'm gonna go to the top and I'm gonna come back down, and I promise you I'm out your hair in 2 minutes. Okay, we're out your hair. We in our let them era, we are going to let them judge us. We are going to let them misunderstand us. We are going to let them find better. We are going to allow them to gossip about us. We are going to let them lose us. But most importantly, we are going to let them be. I want to lay this on your hearts, roommates. Figure out who are vested in you versus who are invested in you. And a person that is invested in you, they are going to seek something in return for what it is that they are doing, for being there, for showing up, for whatever, right? Generally when a person is invested in you, they put in time, energy, money, effort, because it's going to have some sort of favorable result. And to be invested, if it's a business situation, it's great. Come on, invest in me. Let me go on and get my billions and pay you your percentages back, and it's cool. That's fine. But I'm talking about your everyday layman people that should be there loving you, supporting you, cheerleading for you, doing all this stuff for you. Know the difference between those people who are invested in you and people who are simply vested in you. A person who is vested in you, that is someone who has a personal stake, a strong reason to care about the outcome of your life. Roommates, I am vested in me. I am vested in my children. I am vested in my career. I am vested in my best friend. I am vested in rumor has it. I am vested because I don't matter what time, energy, or whatever comes from this, I enjoy being here, I want to be here, and I have your best interests at heart no matter what I get in return. Those people who are simply invested in you, they are looking for something from you that if you are unable to produce, they could never love you the way you need, desire, and deserve to be loved.
That's so beautiful.
She need a tissue, y'all.
Look, that's so beautiful.
She need a tissue.
Now that was deep.
Okay.
That was a mouthful and so needed to be said. I'm praying that y'all took this information today. And like I said, and I don't want to end the show because it ain't my show to end. But I just want to say this. I will be back. It's so much more to cover because this get deep. This gets really deep. And we going to talk behind cameras. But I see where this going. Girl, I got so many ideas, y'all. This is what I'm with. When you in solitude, when I tell y'all I'm sitting up here talking to this lady and listening to her talk, I done came up with 6 different ideas. Okay, stop playing with me.
Roommates, we have come to an end. Thank you guys so much for a wonderful night. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your contributions. Thank you for simply being you. I love you guys so much. See you next week. Good night.
Love you. Bye.